Hello. Well, my old stick stove that I was using on the Appalachian Trail kind of bit the dust. And on Instagram, I've been seeing a lot of ads for firebox stoves, and I've seen other guys buy them. So I went and bought a firebox stove. It has a carbon windscreen. This handy dandy little tray. It folds down, but I wanted to see how it would work with my bush pots, my canteen cups. Here, I really like these Stanleys, so I wanted to see how that worked. And my Swedish, well, it works pretty good. The Swedish cup works pretty good. My old GI canteen cup, not too bad. Well, let's burn some wood in it. Heat up some water for some tea. I like a stick stove because the fuel is cheap. When you're in the woods, there's plenty of sticks laying around at most places. Some places on the Appalachian Trail, not so hot, because there's a lot of people on the trail and they build fires at night. So this is stuff that's come off the tree here in the yard. So I either burn it in the fireplace or I recycle it. I do kind of like it. I unboxed it last night when it came in. Some of the red and white stuff here, or I should say black and white fire starter that my old buddy gave me. Let's try a piece of jute wax. He gave me some matches too. I don't know if that actually come in the fire kit. It's the first time I ever used this jute wax. I know I'm going to cheat. I'm not going to use a fire rod or steel. It's overcast and no way of using a magnifying glass. Like I said, this is my first burn, so I did throw a little bit of dryer lint in there too, but I wanted to see how the wax jute worked. What I like about it is this Nano is it'll fit in my haversack, it'll fit in my day pack, it'll fit in my rucksack. It's a little heavier than the other stick stove, but the other one lasted me almost 3 years, and I used it a lot. And I know I can feed the sticks in the side slots. But I mean, anybody, I think it's really harder to build a fire than one of these little ones than it is to build an actual campfire. But what I like about it, it's small and contained. And it doesn't leave, you know, unsightly black rocks, and you can leave no trace a lot better. Still get your food cooked up on it. And I like it because another reason why I like it is to carry one of these stoves, like on the Appalachian Trail. If you happen to run low on or out of gas, you have you can build a fire, cook your meal. I was in the Whites, and I was camping along the trail, and it was an older campsite. Wasn't used much. This girl come up, and I had my old stick stove, and she said, you can't use them stoves. I said, oh yes I can. She said, I'm going to report you. I said, go ahead. Well, what she didn't know is White Walker, the trail runner, I met him at one of the shelters, and I asked him, I said, are these things illegal to use? And he said, yeah. He says, because it's a contained vessel. Because there was, some of the shelters had signs up, no fires. I said, okay. I said, I didn't want to get in trouble. I said, so I didn't use it. I said, but I'm running low on gas. And I said, do I get to town to get another bottle of gas? I says, I'm going to be using my stick stove. And I'm going to try to stretch my gas out so that if it rains or something like that, I ain't going to have to fool around with wet wood. I already have bubbles in my little Swiss cup already. I'm starting to come up. The little bubbles are starting to come up. With what wood I have, or no longer it's been. So it's heating up pretty quick. And I like it because I can use a transient. I like to use transient too, especially when we have fire bans. So It's multifunctional, small, compact, will fit in the haversack, fit in a day pack, fit in a deep woods ruck pack, and I should have got that one side shield so that the handles wouldn't get hot. But I got it kind of pulled to this side, and it's not much fire's coming up, but I'm still going to use my pliers to pour the water. And for first burn, and even though I use a little jute, wax jute twine, it's not real smoky, and this wood, you know, has been laying on the ground, and I just picked up, busted off of that limb and some other limbs, so I have a little pile here. And yeah, she's hot. You can see the steam and the bubbles are coming up. It's not a roaring bubble or boil yet, but I'm not going to add any more wood to it. I'm just going to let and see if well, let's add a little bit more wood. I didn't want to, but I like to find my old stove to get my left-handed smoke shifter out of it. I can always get another piece of tubing. That's not a big deal. I even have extra tubing in the house. Take off, or is it going to just set down? Yeah, I'm probably going to have to have my smoke shifter. But I wanted to show you where it burned out. I bought one of those Lexan, I believe it is the brand. And at the top, on the front where you feed the wood into, it cracked. Well, then I put epoxy on it, and then it cracked over here and left a gap. I don't know if it melted the stainless steel. And down at the bottom where it said Lexan, and it was kind of like an ashtray, that disintegrated, and you had to watch, because if you had like this on, and you know you were feeding it, it would come unfolded with the fire in it. I'm just gonna let that wood burn. It feels good. It's snow flurry now. And she's good and hot. So I know it made a little bit of cider instead of coffee, something different. And I'll let this burn out. So I was really anxious to give it a burn to try it out. I didn't go hunting today. Arthritis was really bothering me really bad. So I kind of decided to stay home. Of course, the wife had a honeydew list for me, and I still haven't got it all done, but I did some things that I should have did like 5 years ago on a honeydew list, and I just did it today, so she was well pleased with what I did. I didn't get a lot of ash in it. In fact, very little ash in that Swiss cup. I do have a big piece I'm shoving in. Don't touch that stainless steel, because it does get mighty hot. It has these little bars that you can put in, and then you put them in on an angle, and then you can set the transient. When this thing cools down, I'm going to get my transient out and set it in there just to see how it works. And that's starting off some nice heat there. I'm impressed. So anyways, I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I hope everybody's well, and we don't nobody gets sick over Christmas and New Year's. I hope that this supposedly new mutated strain of COVID is short-lived. People are getting tired of wearing masks and staying 6 feet away and not going out. I think that they're being very careful with making suggestions of stuff now, because I mean people are rioting. I mean, look what's happening down in New Zealand and Australia and Denmark and places. I've been hearing about some of the other guys that I watch from Europe has been saying different little things. I've been keeping my eyes open, you know. I mean, people are tired of it. And I hope the Russian government, I hope that all just kind of goes away. Of course, I heard Biden said that we're going to boycott the Winter Olympics in China, and I think that's a good thing. Because we know, it's a true fact, that the military games, that's when they released it to every nation that was there, United States, Australia, New Zealand, the Brits, Canadians. There were some forces there, I didn't recognize their uniforms. I think South Africa was there. I did see a South African uniform, and and let the bug go, and then they all come home or went back to their bases and drug it all over. And I really think it was a experiment to see how they could infect the world real quick. And it was biological warfare. It was human guinea pigs being used. And it's not like it hasn't been done by other countries. I won't say who, but if you go back and look back in the early 60s, San Francisco Bay, you'll be surprised. It has been wrote up, I think, in the San Francisco Chronicle. So I'm going to grab the camera and bring it over, and I'm going to show you what's left of that fire. And it's not all burned out yet, but I kind of want to end this and start packing my stuff up, take it back into the house and stuff, and I'll let that cool down and burn out. Just not to bore you and make it a super long video. But I do appreciate you. Give me a thumbs up, a like, share, subscribe. You know the drill. So there's what's left of the ashes. It's not all quite burned out, but it's pretty close. But I'm well pleased with it, and I hope it lasts me longer than 3 years. I'm hoping I can get the rest of my life out of it. It seems to be well built. If you can take a look at it, it's way thicker than the Lexan, and my one friend on YouTube, and that's in a lot of the different sites, he was asking me about when I got that Lexan, and I said, get the ones that has the hinges on it, because when it's super cold and you got gloves and trying to slide them Lexans together, and just like my Transia stove, it's hard to manipulate them. I said, although I like that little stove I bought off of Survival Resources, but it wasn't multi, it was just a Transia stove. And the downside of it was, I had 2 pots. This one, well, actually 3. My canteen cup. I had this one and a larger Stanley pot, and tipsy was a big one, and that and sunk in, and I got one of them small stainless steel grates and put on top of it, and then that Stanley worked, and this worked then. and it didn't tip over and spill the water, you know. And so I still use it. I just don't use it often because I have stuff like this. But I like it because it folds real thin and slides right in that inside back pocket on the back of the haversack. It don't weigh nothing. And you know, you have this and full water and the Swiss cup. You know, it's great. So if you're trying to cut weight in your haversack, it is a good little stove. Well, like I said, like, share, and subscribe. Catch you later.